allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jim. Next on the agenda, the minutes, November 8th. Questions, comments?
Move approval as today.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, approve the minutes, November 8th. All those in favor? Anybody got any old business? No old business. RSU 73 school board vacancy, which we should discuss how we want to handle after I guess we should wait till we get applications too, of anybody that's going to volunteer for this.
Right, so depending on what you guys want to do, we can put information out tomorrow. It will obviously be on the recording tonight, but we can put it out on our Facebook page and our website and through the email, saying that there is an opening. It's up to the select board to appoint someone. So if you want to just discuss how you're planning to fill it, we can let the people know that when they call. If you're planning to put
And-
people's names in a hat and draw one out, if you were planning to do interviews, if you're,
Wow, you get that many names.
whatever you like. Typically, we look back on our past ones, and we typically only have one person. But just so that you're prepared in case you have multiples, you might want to
I'm
just have
trying
that
to find that
discussion.
one person,
Yeah.
as Terry can attest. Who are the present members?
From Jay?
Yeah, because that's who we're filling, it was Jay's
Yeah.
position, right?
It's Mike Morrell that resigned.
He's the only one from Jay?
No,
That-
No,
no.
he's the one that resigned.
We
And
just-
then-
I see that.
Yeah,
it's right on their website.
Oh,
5 more members. You got
yeah.
six
For
I can
more.
tell
Jay?
you who they all
Just
are.
Jay, we have
I
five?
can't-
I was gonna say, they're gonna open up their website.
Lynn Roulette was one, Joel
yeah,
She just
I
Pike,
got-
know Lynn was one.
Doug,
Pasquale.
yeah.
Bob Stevens.
Well, he's not gonna run again, but he's still.
Right in the front of the
Right.
town report too. Joel Pike, Mike Morrell, Doug DePasquale, Lynn Willett, Robert Staples, and Elaine Fitzgerald.
There you go.
And so this year, come April, Joel, Doug, and Mike would be all be up too.
So he was up anyways, coming this year?
So he would be, yes. Wait, no, I take that back, I'm reading this wrong, because this was last year's town report. Doug and Lynn Willett will be up this year. Mike was just reelected. So whoever takes his position, this position though, they take it just for, till the
Interim.
next election.
Okay.
And then we'll have it open again, the papers will be out in January and they can run for the seat, and then we'll fill it till the end of his term.
So we could possibly appoint somebody just for this term. We have that option.
Yeah, that's the only way you can do it. You
Okay.
appoint someone
have to do it.
that will just be till the next town meeting, so till April.
Yeah, yeah. I think if we get more than one, we only get one, even if we draw the name, it's gonna be that person, so. But I lean to, if we get more than that,
Thumb wrestling.
one up, that's another option, but
Yeah, pull it from a hat if there's multiple, definitely.
especially between now and
Right,
April.
yeah.
Yeah, what I've been trying to do is trying to find somebody who can at least fill out the remaining part of this term. And then that
Yeah.
gives me, or us, some opportunity to fill it later.
Yeah,
You know, get somebody to run perhaps.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Donna.
Do you have putting a deadline on when the name should be in?
So if you would like to do it, to appoint someone at your next meeting will be December 13th.
Yeah.
So if you want to have by December 10th,
Oh,
have people
yeah.
submit their
Yeah.
names,
Yep.
and then we'll have it.
Perfect.
Any other questions, comments on that?
Are you saying submit names by the 10th?
Yeah, just have them call the town office and we'll have a list. We'll take down people's names if they're interested, and
No later than the 10th, and then we'll be able to vote on, or
Okay.
pull their names,
Yep.
however it works on the 13th.
Yep, and hopefully we do get a few. No other comments there? Next, the street light request, Highland and Belleview. I've ridden over there a couple of times. I mean, actually, there's streets all over Jay that doesn't necessarily have a light. If we do one, we're certainly gonna have to look at all the rest. I know there was a committee put together, quite a few people. I'm not sure if anybody was on the board that did it then. I wasn't either, but police chief and, who was on the board?
Tim, were you on the board when they did the street
Justin was on board.
He was on that committee.
He was on that committee,
And we had Justin, they had a police chief,
Yep.
Public Works.
Geez, you're really testing my memory now.
Oh.
Yeah.
But there
I
was
could
a
go
committee.
pull the file
No.
and tell you who was on it, and yeah, we did, we had multiple people.
And they went around and made a list and everything and
Yeah.
went through and going there. And people did have the option, if they wanted to pay for the light,
Right.
they could keep it,
Right.
so.
There were some that were eliminated, there were some that were relocated, like if one was in one, like this one at the end of Chickadee going up the hill, it was moved, I think, from the end of Chickadee across the street, so it lit up the intersection more. So there were some that were adjusted. And then the ones that were being eliminated, if people wanted to keep them, like Terry said, they could.
This intersection never had one, otherwise did it?
It did not,
No.
no. The ones in Chisholm, there weren't any eliminated in Chisholm. Those were all kept,
That were there,
that were there,
Yep.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So the purpose of the committee is to keep the cost down for the town, is that the reason for it?
Back then, and whether it was really all of them were needed, because way back, I believe probably they were just put up back in the old days when anybody raised their hand and said, I'd like to have a light. And it was put up.
So it wasn't done, or was done mostly as a cost saving?
It was
measure
done
for
as
the
a
town?
cost saving
Yeah.
measure, yeah. It was when we were looking at making significant
Yeah.
budget cuts because of
Yeah.
everything with the mill. It was
So
that
with
time
all
period.
the cost savings that we've accumulated over the years, because of that, we've also had reduced wattage and expenses for those lights that we presently have, right? We've saved, what, about $20,000 a year
Yeah.
in costs in
Yeah, with the LED changeover and
Yeah.
both of them, you're right. I think it was around there.
Yeah, I think originally, and I
Yeah.
mean, electric costs have gone up too, so, you know,
Because I
it's
noticed
balancing
around
out.
town, some of them, like you had mentioned, excuse me for pointing, but since,
No?
because you had mentioned that some lights that the person wanted to pay for, they could have it. Because I noticed in some of these, they're not all LED, so apparently some of those lights are being paid for by
Correct.
the adjoining property owners or what
Correct.
have you, so.
Yep. The ones that aren't the ones that are paid for by individuals didn't get converted at the
Right.
same time the town did, because right then, at that time, they were focusing on town conversions. And they had a list of towns they were going through doing conversions for, so the individual ones weren't done at the same time. And I don't know what that
So what's the
timeline was.
process now if somebody like this individual had made a request for a light and said it was a safety issue because of the amount of foot traffic there? Because you could go up there and look and there's nobody there, but you sit in the vehicle, eventually somebody will be walking. I mean, that was my concern, is if somebody's requesting it, there must be a little bit more of a reason other than just, I like to have my street lit up.
So he filled out a
Yeah,
form.
we got a form.
I see that.
And then that comes to the board, and it's up to the board makes a decision on whether you want to add streetlights or not.
So if it was a cost saving measure, what would the cost of a new light be if it was installed?
I do not know that. It depends on the light fixture, whether it has to have extra supports, like some of them have,
Oh, they reach out over the street.
right, like an arm type thing that goes out. There's different costs for different brackets. That's what word I was trying to.
Yeah. And we definitely would have to be prepared. This isn't, this will not be the last request if we do that. I know from my area, there would be 1, 2.
So what you're saying is don't grant any because other people are gonna ask for them?
No, not necessarily, but if this needed, I've been up there at night, I've been up there in the day 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And to me, that isn't any different than some of the other roads that don't have lights.
Yeah.
That's me.
Is it an intersection where a road comes into
No.
another road?
No,
It's a T. Just a T
It's a
there,
T.
that's all it is.
yeah, comes out into another. Anybody else, or?
I'm
I'm just looking
understanding.
at
Got
it
you.
from the accident standpoint, we haven't had anything going, and I think unless that became an issue, I sort of agree with you, and we just keep it the way it is for now.
Anybody else have any comments? Need a motion to turn that down.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to deny the street light request at the Highland and Belleview. Motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
Was the motion
Abstain.
was not to deny?
It was to deny.
To deny.
To deny, oh. Okay.
I'm abstaining on that.
Yep, she's upset.
And I'll vote no.
He voted no.
Okay, so 3 to 1 to
3 yes, 1
1.
abstention, 1 no. That's the way
I'm staying.
Yeah.
My street zone.
Okay.
Ambets liquor license,
Make a motion to approve.
motion made and seconded, all those in favor? Hillside Sports,
Make a motion to approve.
motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
The Hillside, were they asking for a renewal of the liquor license, or was it just a outdoor
The outdoor.
venue area for events?
Yeah,
For AMVets.
and that's right.
AMVets,
So you're approving-
Hillside is a renewal of their license.
Hillside's renewal, yeah, and that's just
Extension.
outdoor area for,
So you're approving one in one motion, both in the same motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Liquor license, and special amusement.
You got the other one that came in?
special amusement.
Hillside
Did they do
special
special
amusement.
amusement?
They
Right.
only did they just said.
We have one more on Hillside
Licenses, didn't say
still.
what they were.
Yeah, we had, the first one was a motion to approve AMVets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second one was to a motion to approve the Hillside Sports Club for the
Liquor license.
liquor license.
Oh, okay.
The next one is
Okay.
Hillside Sports Club renewal of the amusement permit.
All right.
Motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
We have a new one too, don't we?
Then we have one more that
Yeah.
came in today, My Dad's Place. Also is requesting an extension of their liquor license. They converted their
Convenience store.
storefront convenience store into seating, so they want to extend their liquor license to that seating area. So if
Motion.
you're willing to take that up too.
Motion to approve?
Motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
So there's 4 things.
There we go.
Yeah.
Man,
4 signatures.
I can call on you because he's busy.
I'll leave him to it.
Lane, that one made out quite well.
All these drinking establishments
Have
have
names and
outside
everything.
lighting
Well,
around that
put them
area.
on
Oh,
to
yeah.
save you guys time, and I was trying to go in the order that you said, but I think one of them I messed up, so I need to look at.
They do that only, they have an annual membership barbecues during the day.
It's the first time they'd asked for drinking outside though, wasn't it? I don't know.
No, they did last
They
year.
had
did
it last year
last
because of
year.
COVID,
Yeah.
Okay,
because of COVID.
okay. I knew they had a chicken barbecue.
Donna, you want to recognize Donna?
Well, he's busy. I wait for him to
Oh.
be over.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Did you guys approve the request for extension of outside area?
Yeah. For
For
Ambet.
AMVets. Yep,
That's what it was, the request for.
Oh, I thought,
one for AMVets and then 2 for Hillside,
okay, so
and
the
then
liquor
one for.
license
Liquor license.
is for the the outside area?
Yeah.
You're just saying, okay.
Yeah, it's AMVET's liquor license request for extension of outside area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll expire this December, right?
It's good for a year, isn't
Oops. I signed on the wrong line.
There was one of them that I tried to go in the order you guys sat, and I knew there was one that I messed up on. I just told Tara
Sign where
that,
my
sorry.
name is.
Sorry.
You did okay
I'm
on
sitting
this?
there going along.
I know,
Filling
every
them
single
all
one
in
of
to
them
save
hurts, and the one I
time
don't
and-
look at comes up that
I
way,
looked
right?
at
That
it.
one looks okay. This one looks okay.
Yeah,
It's only one, I think.
it is, that one.
Well, I mentioned that because I saw the expiration was, on one of them was 2021. Were you aired on that one?
Might have been their
Yeah.
current liquor license. It was attached to
Yes, it was.
the.
And then I looked at it
whatever.
closer and I said, well, it's just for outdoor things, so
Okay.
that's what I thought they were looking for. Yes, I see what you did. That's a huge error. This
I
is
know.
not, this is not,
You want me
this
to
is
It's
get
not
Wait.
good, is it?
This is
I know,
not
I was
what
gonna
I
say, do you have any
It
white
was
on
my
that?
fault.
Yeah.
It was my fault. I was trying to go
I have
in
a
the
nice
order
write
you
on
were
it, but
seated,
it's
and
not
then I
here,
missed
right?
it.
It's good they're gonna decide to sit somewhere else.
I know, yeah,
Right?
really, you would have had to read where I wrote your name beside it.
I'm always
Would've
third on
screwed
all of
everything
those, it's
up.
always the third
Right.
spot. Throw me off, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I was
just
testing you.
arrowed up and arrowed down.
There you go, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gary.
You have such nice penmanship, though. I could have copied the name easily.
I don't know, it's a long name.
This one, this goes something. I don't know what this was.
Under other business, the stones are done at the cemetery.
Very nice.
That's one.
Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Any complaints or?
Well, the people seem,
Yeah.
he just finished, I haven't been up to look at them. He did say that some of the stones that were broken had been previously repaired, so they were more difficult to fix, but they've gotten them all done
Yeah, I
now.
was
so.
just wondering if some of the next of kin have seen it and they
I
approved.
haven't heard anything yet. I know I had a couple calls when the board originally discussed it, and we were going to do that.
Yeah.
A couple from people that were very pleased that it was happening.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard from anybody that's been up and seen it yet.
On the gazebo, Paris Farmers Union donated a whiskey barrel to use out there, and Leanne and Tom and Laurie from the office put a tree in there, so thank you.
Thank you all
All
for
of
that.
you.
You're welcome.
When's the whiskey coming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tree's planted in the
It's,
whiskey barrel.
yeah.
It's holding it
It's not
up.
gonna benefit you, Gary.
I saw the tree, but I didn't see the whiskey barrel. If I'd seen that, I'd been right over there real quick.
Other business, HVAC. Want to get into any of that, or?
So I gave you all the request for qualifications that we've come up with, that will, if the board approves them, will be sent out. There's several vendors that it's going to be sent to directly that Larry is already kind of vetted, knows they're qualified. And then it will always also go out like on our Facebook page, our website, that type of thing that we normally publish it on too, so.
And Larry's gone through all this.
Yes, he's the one that,
He's the one.
he developed
Okay.
this. Gary and Tom and I met with him 2 weeks ago now,
I think so.
week and a half ago,
Someone.
to kind of go over it initially, and then he's had it gone back and forth a couple times, and it's to the point where if the board is okay with it, then it will get sent out, and the date for getting responses is December 13th.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
our next
then-
meeting.
Yes.
I just have a question. I know we had discussed this. but I can't recall why electronic only. You wouldn't take UPS or fax or somebody hand delivering it. Why just electronic?
I think because it's
delivery?
easiest to disperse out to everybody so that we can get it out to, like if it comes in here, we can quickly get it to Larry to review, we can quickly get it to the rest of the board. Because we'll get it at noon. I think our meeting's maybe at 2 that day, I think, to review them. And then
Noon,
it's
yeah.
going to be on the board's
The board
agenda
meeting,
that
right.
evening.
I
So
know.
to try to get them all copied and hard copied or scanned, it requires more administrative work on our end, so.
Do you have an idea how many people might submit?
4.
I know he's got 4 companies that he's already, you know, kind of vetted, but if there are others out there that are qualified that want to submit as well, it'll be interesting to see because so many contractors are so busy right now. It'll be, you know, hopefully we do get some responses.
Yeah. So what do we need to do? Motion to approve the
Yes.
outline for the request for qualification, the HVAC?
Perfect.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
And Larry had a couple of them minor, it looked like minor edits to approve.
That's what I thought. Just on.
I'm an idiot maybe, but
No,
I thought
no.
RFQ was for request for quotes.
No, qualifications.
Well,
Qualification.
Request for
Okay.
qualifications.
For statement.
But it is also
Yeah.
a request for quotes.
I was like, yeah, it's good to have qualifications, but not.
So the process is that the request for qualifications goes out, the vendors submit their qualifications, the group reviews them, decides who's qualified, can set up interviews if they need more information, can ask additional questions if they have references that need to be reviewed, that type of thing. And then decides who, like, they're going to work with to design and build the project.
So where's the money come in?
Not until,
Not till February.
vote on it. We have to vote on it.
Gotta go to the voters in February.
We have to make sure first
By
that the
February
people that come and do
15th,
the
we'll
job
vote on April.
When will you
qualified
get
to do the
the
job.
quotes?
Once we figure out what we're designing.
Right.
Okay.
We did have a timeline there, didn't we?
Yeah.
There is one.
There is one out there.
There is, isn't there?
Right.
A anticipated timeline, which is subject to moving, maybe it was in the other document.
No,
the
it's on
original.
there.
Is
No,
it
it's-
on there?
Yeah,
Oh,
second
got it
page
right
in the
here.
back,
Yeah.
page 4.
Well, there is a drop dead date where it has to be before the voters and it has to
Right.
be publicized by February
14.
14th.
Yeah.
Right, so our warrant, is being done February 14th, so
So we're
that's
gonna
the
need
warrant
all
article.
those
that-
figures before that so that we can put it out to the voters.
So
Then we gotta see too whether or not we have qualifying funds through the ARP.
Yep.
If that
Yeah.
happens, the town will still need to approve, but it
So-
wouldn't necessarily come from the town.
I don't know if you guys saw, earlier in the week, there was an article on Wilton and an article from Minnet that they were dealing with their ARPA money.
Yeah.
So I talked to the managers in both of those communities, because in both cases, they were not necessarily planning to do town meeting vote for approval of the ARPA funds. There seems to be differing legal opinions across the state, depending on who talks to who, about whether you need to have that or not. MMA is still suggesting that you do go through town meeting. Some of the other attorneys are saying the article that we have on our warrant every year that says the board can accept and expend those
Yeah.
type of funds will cover you. So it's going to depend on what comfort level the board has and what ultimately you want to do. But it is an opening there that, maybe if you wanted to do something different, you have that option.
Yeah, well, I like the idea that those ARPA funds could be used for this project because of the air quality
Right.
Yeah.
issue.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know the school systems are grappling with that now at the present time, trying to use those funds that they've got from the federal government for that, so. Without the air quality, I don't know.
Anything else? Dates, following dates for events or meetings. November 25th, town office and transfer will be closed. November 26th, town office closed. December 13th, select board meeting at 6 here at the town office. December 27th, select board meeting 6 at the town office.
I move we go into executive session, MRS Title I, Chapter 13, Section 405, subsection 6D, union negotiations, all, and 6A, a personnel issue.
Motion made.
Motion made?
Seconded, all those in favor?